Welcome to the Transformational Soul Show with your host, Ruth Soltman. Are you ready to experience more stability in your life? You can change your life and be who you are meant to be, your authentic self.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Transformational Soul. My name is Ruth Soltman, and I want to thank you so much for joining me here this evening. We are streaming live on Rumble, X, BitChute, and YouTube. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. I'm very grateful. Oh, let's see. We got Robert here already. Hello, Robert. Maureen, welcome. Laura, hi Laura, and Patty, hello Patty. So glad you could be here. If you are out there watching and you haven't said anything, please just drop a hello in the chat. That would be awesome. I would love to hear from you. I invite you to check out my website, ruthsoltman.com. It's RUTH, S as in Sam, OL, T as in Tom, M as in Mary, A, N as in Nancy.com. And you can go over to my website and find out all about the services I offer, find out about my books and oracle cards. So go and check that out. And next weekend, there'll be some sales going on. You can support this show and any of the Goldylocks shows in a lot of different ways. You can share the link. You can share the show information. You can give it a thumbs up. You can write a review and email it to Tiffany. And her email is, I'm going to spell it for you, GNOSTEAIC37@gmail.com. Now, in addition to that, or instead of, you could sponsor a show. You would have to contact Tiffany about that. But if you have like a small business, what Tiffany will do is she will make a little commercial to play during the show sometime. So that's, great advertising for you, and it helps out the show host as well. So if you move, and another way you can support the show is if you feel so moved to do so, you can give a love or donation, a love donation. Now you can do that via my Venmo or a Rumble rant on Rumble. Now, if you do make a donation of $5 or more during the show, put it in the comments that you sent me a Venmo or whatever it is, and let me know in the comments, and then I will move you to the head of the line when I give messages. Very grateful for your donations, for anyone who donates. It does help me to cover the cost of my show every month, so that's really awesome. So, I have a question. Are you on Telegram? Because if you are, come and join our Goldylocks Productions group over there. And if you're not on Telegram, it only takes like a minute or two to sign up. And the group is by invitation only, and the link is posted in the show information. And there's also a QR code as well, as you can see up there in the corner of the screen. Goldylocks Productions also has an online store where you can get some really awesome merchandise. Don't forget to check out their oracle cards too, which I have right here. Energized. They're so cool. Check that out. It makes a great gift for someone. And let's see. The next Spiritual Message Circle is going to be this Saturday, November 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern. So mark it on your calendar. It's the last one for November. November. This sounds so weird to say November. I want to wish a very happy birthday to everyone who is celebrating a birthday this week. I hope you enjoyed, or you do enjoy, you will, your special day. Birthdays are awesome. Let's see. Hi, Robin. Robin said, YouTube is weird. There is another live stream that looks crazy. Ruth's face is big. It says 2 are watching. This one says 1 is watching. Well, I don't know, that's weird. So many of us are in need of healing on some level, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. So let's send out some love, light, prayers, and healing to all those who are in need. And let's especially remember Robin McGuire and her son, Caroline Carey's daughter, Carrie, Caroline's sister, Ginny, Joyce, Maureen, Brandon, Jamie, Heidi, William, Tommy, Josh, Harley, Patty, Sarah and her family, Jamie, Patricia, Melissa Parks and her family, Devin, Jill, Roy, Laura and her husband, Tiffany, George and their family, Carol, Susan, Bob, Diane, Julie and their families, Kristen, and to all those who are just in need of a little bit extra right now. And we need to send a little bit to ourselves as well, because we can all use a little bit extra. So remember to catch our shows Sundays through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern every night. And then we have a couple Saturdays a month, which one of them is this Saturday, the Spiritual Message Circle. We have the two daytime shows, Laura Ramiro's Healing Angels and Healing Light, which is 2 Tuesdays a month, and it is coming up this next Tuesday. So make sure you tune in. That's at 11 a.m. Eastern. And Alepht's Musical Life every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Aleph is currently on hiatus and will be back in 2026. We miss you, Aleph. We miss you. Robin. Stream. Oh. Hello, Marcia. Marcia Morse is out there. Let me write you down. If you haven't done so already, you could become a Goldylocks VIP. Do it for yourself. It's awesome. For less than the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, which that's not much a month, right? You can be a VIP. There's a special VIP show once or twice a month, usually twice. The VIP show was today, and it was open to the public. Anyone could watch. So I saw that Tiffany had posted the link on her Facebook page. So I'm guessing, Tiffany, that means people could go there and click it on and watch the replay. Is that correct? Just let me know. Let's see. It was a great show, by the way. So for the last couple of years, I have had a 7 days of gratitude event on Facebook. It's done within my Facebook group called 365 Days of Gratitude. And it's open to all. Okay, yes, the replay is available for the VIP show. So you can go and check that out because Tiffany has it posted on her page. I believe I shared it on my page as well. So tomorrow is going to begin the 7 days of gratitude. So I hope you can come and join us. And we will focus on gratitude, obviously, and what it means, We'll find a deeper understanding of gratitude and how it positively affects our life. I will be posting in the group multiple times a day. Feel free to comment, share your thoughts, ideas, experiences. We all learn from each other. We are all teachers and we are all students. So bless someone with your thoughts, ideas, and experiences. Hello, Richard. The 7 Days of Gratitude starts tomorrow and it ends next Wednesday, which is Thanksgiving Eve. Now, speaking of next Wednesday, my Thanksgiving Eve show, which I will be having my show on Wednesday, I'm going to have a raffle and a giveaway. So I'm going to give you some information on that now. I will be raffling off a gratitude jar. And if you remember, that's been one of the things I've raffled off in the past. A gratitude journal and a $25 gift certificate that could be used on my website. So you could use it towards books. You could use it towards some of my Christmas items, whatever you want. And I'm going to be having some sales over the holiday weekend next weekend. Not this weekend, but following Thanksgiving. Now, to enter the raffle, you can send your donation of $9.99 on Venmo. Now, my Venmo, it's a Venmo address or whatever you want to call it. It's the @, my first name, Ruth, capital RUTH, then a dash, my last name, capital SOLTMAN. You can also use PayPal or Zelle if you have those. And my information is the same on both of those. It is ruth.saltman@gmail.com. These are the preferred forms of payment. The reason being is the money is immediately accessible, so I can use it for shipping. I can use it for the prize costs. And when you make your donation on any of those, please put the word raffle in the information line, or whatever that line is called, and make sure that I have your contact information. If you live outside of the U.S., I know we have a lot more viewers now, that are, and this has happened to me a couple of times. But if you live outside of the U.S., you may have to pay some or all of the shipping charges. Now, if you donate by noon on Wednesday, the day of the show, and you get 2 entries, then you're going to receive 3 chances to win instead of 2. Now, I do that, if you pay ahead like that, give you that extra entry because, you get an extra entry and you get an extra chance to win. But it helps me out a lot because what I can do then is put your name on the wheel before the show so that when the show starts, I'm not, sometimes it gets a little frustrating when you're trying to do that and talk, during the show as well. So then it won't take time away from me having to do it during the show. I can have it pre-done. And I'll be doing it on the wheel like I have in the past. The names will go on the wheel and then it's all push the button and then it chooses the winner. Now I'm also going to be doing a giveaway or 2. I'm not positive yet on that. Now you must be on the live for the giveaways because obviously it wouldn't make much sense, right? But you do not have to be present on the live in order to win the raffle, as long as I have your contact information. And then what would happen is if you were not watching and you won the raffle, I would have a way to contact you after the show. Okay. I'm going to let you guys know about any holiday specials. that I'm running. Next week is the big holiday shopping weekend, right? Got Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. And when you're doing your holiday shopping this year, please remember to shop small businesses. Goldylocks Productions Thanksgiving break is going to be from Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, the 27th, until the 29th. Shows will resume on Sunday, correct? Resume on Sunday, November 30th. Tiffany, you will be here then at 8 p.m. with spiritual insights. Yes, okay. Just double checking. Don't want to misinform everybody. Lots and lots of information today. So as we move into December, my first two shows of the month, the 3rd and the 10th, I will have a very special guest, Tiffany White Sagewoman. We are going to do the Q&A with Tiffany, and I'm really excited and really looking forward to it. We've done it in the past, and it's so much fun. So if you have a question that you would like to ask or have Tiffany answer on the show, then please send it to me. She doesn't see any of the questions ahead of time. And when I read them on the show and ask her the question, she consults with her committee and gives us the best answers ever. So make sure you don't miss out on those shows. It's going to be so much fun. Hi, Sarah. And I would also like to say that these are questions that pertain to the greater good, the oneness of humanity. Not is my boyfriend cheating on me type of stuff. Okay, we're talking global, cosmic. Okay, just so you're aware. And if you want to take a look at the previous shows, go check them out. You can still access those. Then the following week after that, December 17th, it's going to be my Christmas raffle and giveaway show. And I always look forward to that. It's always fun. And I will have more information, in the next couple of weeks. But I wanted to let you guys, remind you about that because, it's coming up really fast. Okay, so I have one more announcement. Carol Ann had mentioned this, I want to say multiple times to me. And I think somebody else on another one of the show hosts, or maybe even two, did too. But I'm going to be a grandma again. My daughter Kristen is pregnant and with her third child, and she is due in June. This will be number 14. 14. Let's just say it was a complete surprise to everyone. So that's exciting news. Let me choose the bigger. Okay, bigger. Where's that? Okay. So let's talk about this energy just for a minute. I'm not going to dwell on it, but this energy continues to be insane. Ups, downs, waves. Just keep surfing. Just keep keeping your head above the water, right? Because that's what it feels like. It's absolutely what it feels like. Keep going with the flow. That's the easiest way to maneuver through all of this. Oh, thank you guys. It is really exciting. Yeah, and I've had to keep it quiet for the last couple of weeks until, she let everyone know. So that's not something I would want to hear about on my show. You know what I mean? So I had to keep it hush. So with this energy, it's it's going to continue. We know this. Thank you, Laura. Tiffany, you're funny. So with this, energy, you need to, and I'm trying to do this myself, trying to get enough rest, okay? Trying to stay hydrated, meditating to help me keep my center, to help me to stay balanced, eating healthy, that's all stuff that helps the energy in your body and the vibration in your body. So, of course, it's going to help with this new energy that's coming at us in waves. Now, one good thing, though, is it does come in waves. So there's the ups and the downs, the ebb and the flow. So it gives us time in between to recuperate a little bit and let that energy start acclimating with our own energy. So I've noticed the last couple of weeks, especially the last week, this week I've had difficulty falling asleep. Okay. Quite a bit too. I don't know why. I'm waking up normal at like my normal time, but I'm having a difficult time falling asleep. It's not because I'm sitting there, with a million thoughts in my head. I'm not sure, what that is from. I have noticed my granddaughter Judy has been a Klingon with her grandma, and anytime I'm, getting prepared to work on this or work on that, Grandma, will you sit with me while I do Play-Doh? Grandma, will you snuggle with me? So she has been sucking up a lot of my time lately. Now, I'm not going to tell her no. I enjoy so much the time I spend with my grandkids. So it's all happening for a reason. And that's why I don't stress out about it. Yes, I have certain things I wanted to get done in this past week. And, a lot of it got done, not all of it. But I think what I did was probably at that moment was much more important than worrying about finishing, something up. Now, 2025 is going to be coming to a close very soon. If you want to make some changes in 2026, and, people find that calendar year change gives them some kind of incentive or inspiration to start anew and make new changes. And a lot of people like to do it that time of the year. Well, start thinking about it now, because I'm going to tell you, okay, it's almost Thanksgiving. Almost Thanksgiving. Start thinking about it now. Get into the right mindset, because we know like 98% of it is mindset. Set a goal. Start manifesting now. Your desires are going to manifest very quickly. Also, look at what you want to do in the next year. Where do you see yourself? Oh, thank you, Marsha. And also sit down and relax. Just relax, start thinking, and take a mental stock of 2025. Did things work out the way you wanted them to? Was it better than you expected? Would you have done anything differently knowing how things were going to turn out? What things can you release and let go of? Think about how different your life is and you are since 1 year ago, since last Thanksgiving. How different you are than you were 5 years ago. Look at how much your life has changed. Look at how much you have changed. Look at how much healing you have done. You did that. You initiated that change. You did that. You took action, did what you had to do. You released the stuff that you didn't need anymore, and you were able to move forward. Think about what do you see as your biggest obstacle? And really think about why, okay? Because if you have some kind of an obstacle, there's a block somewhere to something. Maybe you're trying to manifest abundance. Maybe you're trying to manifest a love relationship, and it's just not coming for you, but you're trying really hard. What kind of a block have you created to attain that? Thank you, Robin. Good night, Richard. But think about that. I have to stop reading messages when I'm in the middle of a sentence, because I totally lose my train of thought. But you did that change. You created that change for yourself. Change is not easy. You know, a lot of times we're resistant to it. But it's just necessary. It's necessary. Who wants to stay in the same place, you know, forever, right? We have to change things up. We have to, you know, move that energy around a little bit, no matter what it's doing. Absolutely have to. We can't just, you know, let it stay stuck. You know, it reminds me so much. I can remember when I was a kid in like high school. I would come home from school on a Friday and I would walk in the door and there everything in the house just felt different. Of course, then I had no clue what it was. But it was my mom, that was like her big cleaning day, you know. So she would do the vacuuming, she would polish the furniture and all that stuff. And it changes the energy. Absolutely. You get rid of a lot of the clutter, it changes the energy. And I felt that even when I was a child or a teenager, but I didn't know what it was. I did not know what it was. So, blocks. So, whatever you see for yourself as something that you are trying very, very much so to manifest, I want you to just really focus on this, go within, and figure out what is holding you back from attaining that. Because I guarantee you there is something, you know, and it's so crazy because it could be something that you heard as a child that even maybe even nobody knew you heard it, but it's stuck in your head and it's been with you all the time, right? Um, it could be something nasty that somebody said to you went out of their place of hurt, right? You know how some people like to lash out at others when they're hurt. Um, so it could be something like that. It could be something that another kid told you that's not even has any element of truth to it, but it's stuck in your head and stuck with you all of your life. And that's what you've based all of your decisions off of. For example, there's that, and you know, sometimes they're Bible quotes, okay, that stick with people and make them feel like they don't have control of their own life or their own situation. Um, I remember hearing my parents, especially my dad, saying that I forget what it is now, but it's easier. Oh, I'm going to mess that one up. Well, it was about, okay, here's another one. Money is the root of all evil. So when you hear that a lot as a kid, what are you thinking? Oh, I don't want money. It's bad. But money is not bad. Money is a type of energy, right? And we can exchange that energy for other things. But sometimes maybe you heard something like that. And throughout your life, you're just like, money is bad. Money is bad. So you've kind of held yourself back. Maybe you didn't go for that job you wanted because you thought the pay was too much and you don't want to have money because that would make you bad and evil. And as silly as it might sound, this happens to a lot of people. And it happens with many different things. When I was young, okay, my parents were devout Catholics. Well, I think my aunts and uncles and all of them were. But my dad's brother, he was younger than my dad. He got divorced, and you know he found someone else, and my dad had huge issues with that because you know back then in like this must have been somewhere in the 60s, probably the later 60s. You did not get divorced. You know, you just did not do that, and for a long time they didn't talk. My dad and his brother. For a lot of years they didn't talk, and it was because of this. I don't know if they had, you know, had words and had it out, or in my child mind, because I had to have been under 10, or maybe 10 or I don't know, somewhere under 10. But in my child mind, what I saw was um, my uncle got divorced, and now my dad doesn't talk to him anymore. My dad doesn't have anything to do with him. That's what it looked like to me. So what happened when I got older, old enough to, legally be an adult, but very young to, and, the young and dumb stage. And I was in a very toxic relationship when I was young. And what kept me in that relationship as long as it did, and it took me years to figure this out on my own. What kept me in that relationship as long as I was I thought about my uncle. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, okay, so if I get divorced, then what? My parents will never have anything to do with me again. So, I stayed way longer than I did. Now, of course, the way I saw it was how I had seen it as a child, and that's what it looked like to me. That's not, how it was. And, they started talking later in life, and we're fine, got along great. But that was something that I had seen as a child that stuck with me, and that affected me in my relationships. So you see how little things, like I'm sure my parents never even realized that, how I saw that situation or that I even heard anything. And I don't even really know what I heard or what I saw. All I knew was don't get divorced. Now, of course, over the years, a lot of that people's attitudes about that have relaxed. Not that I'm saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it has changed over time. Relationships don't always work out. Sometimes they are very toxic. So look at things in your life and see if there's anything there that's blocking you. Okay. Anything there that's holding you back. And once you realize what it is, then you know how to fix it. And I will tell you from my experience, 95% of the time, once I see what it is and I acknowledge it, it just disappears. Okay. Hello, Devin. Welcome. How it's just, it's really amazing that you are here today because I have been thinking about you today. Must have put my little feelers out there for you to show up. Welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you are doing well, my friend. So yeah, delve into that. We have to get rid of all these blocks. A lot of times, we don't know they're there. And a lot of times we can see the other person's situation, right? And we can see, well, I know exactly why they're doing this. I know exactly where that comes from. I know exactly what they have to do to fix it and heal themselves. But, a lot of times people don't like to hear that stuff. And a lot of times they're not ready to, or they would be figuring it out on their own. But we need to figure out what we can release and get rid of. Start out 2026 off fresh and new. That's awesome. Okay. Let's see. So I am in the process of making my little, I kind of would like to just call it a to-do list for 2026. In a way, I don't like to feel like I'm like making all these lifestyle changes, even though a lot of them probably are, because I don't want it to feel like a New Year's resolution, right? I've always never liked that term. And I think a lot of people don't either because January 2nd, they're like, what resolution? What are you talking about? Lifestyle changes are things that, sound more permanent because they are. They are permanent. Maureen says energy has been like a roller coaster. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I have these gratitude cards that I bought a few years ago for Thanksgiving and for my Thanksgiving show, I mean. not for Thanksgiving. And I'm probably gonna use those next week for some messages, but I'm going to. Ooh, this is a better one. I'm going to pick a card for the group from here, and it's going to be a reflection card. There's 3 categories in this: reflection, affirmation, and inspiration. It's a good time as soon the year will be, the 2025 will be coming to a close, and it's a good time to reflect. Oh. Ooh. Give something. Okay. All right. Here we go. This is interesting. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. It says, send compassionate energy toward a person who has hurt you in the past. Send compassionate energy to a person who has hurt you in the past. Your wounds are your greatest points of growth. Now, how true is that? Because, the wounds, that's what we need to heal, right? We do that healing work, and then look at how much we grow. Look at how much we expand. There's so much growth in releasing what doesn't serve us anymore, and in healing the things that we need to heal. Okay, I am going to go ahead and start giving some messages. Oh, trying to watch the time. And I think I'm going to start with Devin. Devin. Okay, this is from the Messages of Cosmic Oracle cards. This is what they look like. And it says, Devin, no one said this whole life thing was a race. It's okay to slow down. And, that's one thing I've learned to do over the years. Everything doesn't have to get done right now. It's okay to pace yourself. It's okay to, take your time. Take your time. It's okay to slow down. Just don't stop altogether, but slow down. Take baby steps. And the only competition you have, you don't have competition out there. The only competition you have is with yourself, right? We should all strive to be better tomorrow, better people tomorrow than we are today. That should be our goal. We don't need to compare ourselves with other people. Well, they can do this and they can do that and they get this and that done. Yeah, there are people that run marathons, right? I don't compare myself to them. I know I'm never going to run a marathon. Not even in my younger days. That's not something that, So for me to compare myself to someone who runs marathons and say, oh, I'm not as good as them, or why can't I do this? They have so much stamina and endurance, and, I don't. No, we don't compare ourselves to anyone. It's just you. And, we don't have to rush through life. Take your time, smell the roses, smell the coffee, whatever you prefer. And, relax a little bit. Things will get accomplished. Because they always do, right? They always do. Hi, Sarah. Okay, let's see. Maureen. And I know, it's so exciting because I know a lot of you out there, I have a lot of changes that are, either you're going through right now or that are beginning in your life right now, or that you see happening, very soon. And it's so exciting because we're talking like big changes for a lot of people. And I think that is so awesome. But that just tells you, right? That absolutely tells you that there's really something to this whole raising the vibration of the planet and all this stuff with this energy, because it's affecting a lot of people in the same kind of way. They're letting go of stuff. They're moving forward in their life into directions they never thought they would go. And Maureen, this is like the if I could have went through this deck and picked out a card myself, I couldn't have picked a better one than this. Say goodbye to your past and leave the baggage behind for good. Leave the baggage behind. Do not take it with you. Do not take it with you. But if there is still baggage, if it's emotional baggage, you really got to kind of work through that. But say goodbye to your past, because you are embarking on a whole new level of living your life. Retirement, you're moving. And that's just the beginning, because you open up that door, you take those steps outside of your comfort zone. And now that you've taken those steps, you're going to start to see the ripple effect, right? Because that decision to retire, number one, then the decision to move, it's going to ripple out, and there's going to be so much more change, so many wonderful things that are going to come to you because of those decisions that you made. So good for you, Maureen. Good for you. I lost signal. I am back. We had a blackout today. I'm feeling high energy draining me. Ooh. Put on your bubble, Robin. Put on your bubble. Well, I didn't give you your message yet. I actually just started messages, so you didn't miss it. Okay, let's see. Oh, there goes my paper. Marsha. Marsha. Take responsibility for your choices. This is your life to live. Own it. Own it. And you do take responsibility for your choices. We have to do that. Now, when we make a choice, there can be consequences, right, of that choice. And that's just things that happen because of the choice that we made. Doesn't mean they're bad. Doesn't mean they're good. They're just things that happen. And because like when you talk to a child and you say, you need to do this or there will be consequences, immediately they are like, oh, I'm going to be in trouble. Consequences aren't necessarily trouble. It's the the reaction to the outcome of what you put into motion. So just know that let's see. Just know that, and don't be afraid to make a decision. And what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. But when you do, we have to make choices all the time. Of course, we all do. But don't, flip-flop back and forth. Stick with your decisions, because you're using your gut, you're using your intuition, and they're helping to guide you. They're absolutely helping to guide you. Maureen says, thank you so much. Love you. You're so welcome, Maureen. I love you. But sometimes we don't like to say, yeah, I did that or whatever, because you don't know how other people are going to react. But we don't have to worry about that. That's not our problem. So just know that. Be proud of the decisions that you make, Marsha, and the ones that you are making, because they are for your best and highest good. Patty. What do we have for Patty? You know, I feel like I got this card for you before, Patty. It says, give yourself some credit for doing a good job at this whole living thing. You are making huge strides in your life. You are doing some amazing healing work. And I feel like you and things in your life are just getting better and better and better. And, you know, it's such a beautiful thing to see, and it's a beautiful thing to feel in your energy. Because, yes, life can be a little bit difficult, right? A lot of times, a lot of things we feel like we have no control over. And there are some things that we really don't, but they're not things that we need to really sweat about. Sometimes we just have to let stuff go if we can't ourselves do something about it. And that's sometimes the most frustrating part. But they're giving you a pat on the back because you are doing a great job. So keep on with your healing. Keep on making all those positive changes in your life. 6 months from now, you're not even going to recognize yourself, Patty. Laura. Laura, it says, open your heart, not just a little, all the way, and let the love flow in. I know you have your heart wide open. Look at how you so willingly and lovingly accept so many animals into your life, right? I know you love the people in your life. I wasn't like, you know, making it seem like they were less than. But a lot of people can't handle, or maybe don't want to handle, animals. Sometimes the animals are messy and stuff. But you have so much love in your heart and so much love to give that you're just so loving and welcoming with them. And they love you so much, so much. But as you're making sure, it's just to let the love flow in. And when we keep our heart open, the love flows out and it flows in. I always kind of think of it as like a revolving door. Revolving door. It just goes around and around, and it goes in and out, in and out. So keep that heart open, which I know you do. Oh, goodness. Somebody's making me yawn. I'm not taking responsibility for that. I know after the show, a lot of times, especially on this one, but a lot of times, even more on the spiritual message circle, like it's just like such a release, I think, of maybe energy and maybe a little stress. I don't know. But I'll start yawning. And I'm not even tired right now. So it's not that, but I feel another one coming. Oh, goodness. Maybe that was you, Laura. Maybe you're sitting over there yawning. I had a really weird experience today. Something I never really experienced before. I was sitting outside with one of the kids. Or maybe, I don't even know if they were out there. And there was nobody, like you could see nobody, no neighbors were out, no kids were playing, no cars were even going by. And I had my phone and I saw this video about some kind of soap. I don't know. Somebody was cutting up soap. As they were cutting it, all of a sudden there was this smell, this aroma. And I'm like, what is that? And do you know exactly what it smelled like? It smelled like soap. It was the strangest thing. I've never experienced anything like that before. It was so weird. Like really kind of cool at the same time. Okay, Sarah. Oh, Sarah. Guilt is a normal feeling. Just breathe in and let it go. Now, why do we feel guilt or guilty? Because a lot of times that's, I'm so sorry, I apologize. Because sometimes we don't live up to other people's expectations, right? We don't need to live up to other people's expectations. We need to live up to our own expectations of ourselves and those things that we desire for ourselves. How someone else feels about what we do or what we say or how we act, it's really none of our concern. That's their issue. So don't let people make you feel bad about the decisions that you've made in your life. Don't let people make you feel bad um, or make you question those decisions. Just breathe. Take some deep breaths. And I know that has come up for you about the taking some deep breaths. Just do that and relax. And let me tell you, when you take some deep breaths and you really bring it in, you hold it for a few seconds or whatever, and then release it and let it all go, you can feel in your shoulders right away, you can feel some of the tension leaving. So, and a lot of times we can do that deep breathing to keep us from, saying things that maybe we don't want to say, but because we're angry, they might spew out. So if you take, a few minutes and do some deep breathing, it can really calm you down. Robin, I almost missed your name here. I think I need to practice my handwriting a little bit. Thank you for slowing down. I've only have a slow mode now. Well, good. Maybe that's what they're trying to say. Maybe it's that time of your life when you need to slow down. Robin. But don't feel bad for slowing down, Devin. Don't feel bad about that. Oh, you're welcome, Laura. Robin. Robin, you have the power to create the life you love. Remember that. And I know this is like something that you are working on. This is something that you are working on. And you have the power to do this. We all have the power to do this. Just a lot of people don't realize it. To create the life you love. Um, yes, through manifesting, through healing. And you have really done a lot of healing in the past year or so. I'm not really good with the whole time frame thing anymore about how long something takes. But because the whole concept of time has really been weird lately. It's either super fast or super slow. And I could be experiencing it super fast and the person next to me is experiencing it super slow at the same time. So it's been really strange. But yes, keep on working on that stuff, Robin. You have come such a long way. Such a long way. And I feel like, you've been just working on it. And all of a sudden now you can see the finish line in sight. You're like, yes. So, when you run across that tape and you got your arms in the air, you're number one, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be such an amazing feeling. Okay, Sarah said, thank you so much. I appreciate and love you. Yes, feeling guilty for having to be apart from my son soon, but it's something I have to do for the first time. Yeah, I know. And you will be okay. I totally understand. You've got a lot of stuff, you're working on, you're going through, that's going on. How did I lose my pen? How do you lose something when it was just in your hand? Okay, so that was Robin. So we have Richard and Robert. Robert. Remember that you can't change anyone but yourself. How many times do we have that idea in our head that we can change somebody else? Oh yeah, especially when you're young, you get to that relationship. Oh, I'll change that person. No, you can't change anyone else. A person has to make that decision for themselves. They have to do the work to make the changes. So just remember, and don't get frustrated with other people, but the only person that you can change is yourself. Robin says, I am working on it, not going to lie. I am still overcoming anxiety. Thank you for the wonderful message and kind words. I just keep going. I love you. I love you too. Yeah, and we all have anxiety from time to time about one thing or another, right? Try the deep breaths, because I'm telling you, some little children stressed me out quite a bit the other day because I felt like I didn't have like 2 seconds to myself that day, and I was needing it. You know how you feel kind of edgy when you're needing that alone time? So I just did some deep breaths and felt so much better. So that was Robert, and now we'll do Richard. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, Richard. Give your inner critique a vacation day. Be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, Richard. Don't be picking yourself apart about this thing or about that thing. You are amazing, and you are doing a fantastic job. So remember that and keep on going. Okay. Tiffany, it says, and you are. But it says, but I think this is a good lesson type of thing for everyone. Be authentic. Anything else is just exhausting. And how true is that? If when we try to be something that we're not, it is exhausting. You always have to remember what you said, what you told to this person, what you told to that person, so you can keep your lies straight, right? That is so exhausting for anyone. And there's probably been times in our life when a lot of us have done that or something close to it. But I think this is more a reminder that you are living authentically, Tiffany, and a reminder that when you come in contact with someone who isn't, you immediately can see that mask. You immediately see through that facade. And a lot of people don't, and that's how a lot of people get themselves into, crappy situations. So I think I feel like they're just acknowledging you, saying, good job, keep it up. And holy crap, we're out of time. This went by really fast. Just remember the raffle next week. And I guess that's, and the gratitude group starts tomorrow. So I hope you'll come and join me for that. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I am very grateful for each and every one of you. Everyone have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. I love you all. Good night, everybody.